This is Mike Lyons with Smart Meetings TV, and we're here at the Smart Woman Summit in New York City, and I'm standing here with Dr. Romie, who just opened our summit this morning with an unbelievable keynote, which, by the way, got a standing ovation. And you know, Dr. Romie, for all the women leaders in the room that you addressed this morning, the main message was they need to make a brain shift because there's so much burnout and there's so much stress and there's so much expectations that are put on women in particular, right?
It is.
Talk a little bit about what you told the audience this morning.
Good morning, Mike, and it's been an honor to be here with all the attendees. You know, as a female thought leader, it's rare that I'm in a room of this many powerful women. And that's the first thing I want to start with is on your team, if you're asking where are the women in the room. And what's put on women so much is we're written off as she's just stressed, she's just really anxious, things I call a busy brain, but it's actual clinical problem. When we get stressed in a level of burnout, it starts affecting our brain health, our physical health, and our spiritual health, and how we lead as leaders. And I personally went through this. We talked about my journey of burnout, this 20-year journey to find and research the cure and implement it, and it's coming out soon in January of 2024 in the book, The Busy Brain Cure.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't realize you're a brain doctor,
Yes.
and you've done so much research on this subject over the years because you recognize that there hadn't been as much research
There's
as
a
you
gap.
thought. Right?
You know, Mike, nobody wants to be told to eat berries and breathe and everything is going to be fine. After having going through this process myself and knowing that there wasn't an exact protocol out there in the medical world, what could we tell? And then it wasn't just me in healthcare. I've been speaking like this for 6-7 years. Audiences, men and women, every industry are feeling stress and burnout, especially in a post-pandemic world. We need a cure. We need a solution so you can go back to the life you love living and working at. And that's where this 8-week program came that's coming out on the book. You take an assessment, the Busy Brain Test, it's on all of our social media for free, and then we give you the actual steps you take to reverse the negative effects of stress and burnout on your brain and on your body. Yeah.
One of the interesting things you pointed out was this whole work-life balance is a myth.
It is.
Talk about that.
You can see my face cringing. How many times women say, I just don't have work-life balance. In fact, women are more likely to put this on ourselves or people put this on us than men. And I'm here to say, looking at the psychology of the data, work-life balance is a myth that's been propagated by the patriarchy to make us women feel like we have to be perfect all the time and live in a state of perfectionism. And that is fueling the stress and the burnout. I use this example in the audience. There were 160 women and men in the room with different hairstyles. Our idea of how we live our lives are equally as unique, and we get to make those life choices.
Right. And of course, we're in a male-dominated society that controls a lot of the media, controls a lot of the movies, controls a lot of the messaging that goes out to the world, which unfortunately pushes that same message out over and over, decade after decade, right?
But you know, here at Smart Meetings, this is exactly why you're doing what you're doing, is to empower women with the truth and what the latest science and research is. And one of my messages to everyone in the audience is two things. Is, are you putting female thought leaders on the stage? Mike, it's 2023, and I'm often the only woman thought leader in a lineup for speaking engagements or in a room when I'm consulting with Fortune 500 companies. What can we do to change that? And if you're watching this, every time you go into the room, ask this one question out loud: where are the women in the room? And what's being done about this?
Right. Exactly. Well, we could go through this for another hour or so, Doctor, but I think for folks that are very interested in learning more about you, why don't we give them your website so they can go on and learn more about you and what you do and how you can help them, and particularly with your new book.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Romie, R-O-M-I-E. You can find me as Dr. Romie on social media or my website, drromie.com. Come take the Busy Brain Test for free. The book, The Busy Brain Cure, the 8-week plan to find focus, tame anxiety, and sleep again, comes out in January 2024 from HarperCollins. We're so excited.
Well, thank you, Doctor. And as the father of 2 daughters and 5 granddaughters, as my beautiful women in my life, I thank you for the research that you're doing and for pushing this messaging out, because we want all of our women to be the best that they can be. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you for all of you being allies here at Smart Meetings.
Thank you. We're going to sign off now from the Smart Woman Summit here in New York City. It's Dr. Romie and Mike Lyons.